Am I too dark? Am I going to be okay?
You're fine.
Because I can't do anything about it if I'm not okay.
No, you're fine.
I don't have my round light.
Perfectly fine.
Marie's got the most dramatic lighting, but it keeps changing with the screen or something
But
that keeps.
it's
There
my
goes dark.
computer. It's the camera in my computer, this
Right.
laptop. It pulsates like that. Ray came over and tried to put a camera on my other computer, but it was such a drain on the system here that he was afraid to leave it there because it would have, I ran the
Visit
risk of
seniorhealthmedicare.com today for your no obligation review. Call 248-230-8599.
Paul's pals coming up here, I presume.
We are live.
859.
There we are. Hello, Ron and Bob. You guys made it first. And Jane.
The Paul W. Smith Show. News Talk 760 WJR.
Good Wednesday morning to you. Welcome into the program on this 17th day of February, the 48th day of 2021. There are 317 days left in the year. Make each and every day count. Each day is a gift. Now, you might think when I say it's not just Wednesday, you probably think about the fact that it's Ash Wednesday. Well, you're right about that. But around here, Wednesdays are very special because it's not just Wednesday, right, Dana?
It's hump day.
There you are. It's a hump day Ash Wednesday, which I have to hesitate before I say that just to make sure it's okay to say that. And I think it is. It's a hump Ash Wednesday. Well, whatever. You know what I'm saying. It's more than one thing today. And we've got the team here. Marie Osborne is checking in. Good morning, Marie.
Good morning.
I hope the news is all good today. I know that's not easy to do.
We're working on it.
Dana Clark is checking in with us. And is it going to be a better day than yesterday?
Much better so far. One accident out there, but
Just one.
It's going to be better.
Still got some snow. I've got some snow totals I'm going to ask you about. Brian Morton is in the Golden Tower, probably punchkied out with Rocky Radkowski dropping some punchkis off to the people there in the building, which not too many, and pressing all the right buttons for us. Mike Kim here, moving around way earlier than me. Which I think is crazy, but God bless Kim for that. And of course, our executive producer overseeing all of this madness and making sense of it, our executive producer. Good morning, Ann Thomas.
Well, good morning, Deb. Happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday to you. I have a list of snow, and it looks upon first glance that the place with the most snow very quickly in Michigan, Rochester Hills had 9 inches, Memphis 9.7 inches, and upon quick glance, those look like Macomb Township 9.7 inches. Those look like the winners in the snow depths. I was gonna push Ann Arbor, but they're only at 7 inches, which is a lot of snow. But Ann Arbor generally gets a lot of snow. Canton Township 8 inches, Detroit 7.6, Dundee 6.5, East Point 7.7, Farmington Hills 6.5 inches. Ann, so. We tracked the snow totals. We had the school closings. We had people giving schools that were virtual who gave a virtual day off because of the snow. We had some of them getting some gas. But doggone it, I think the kids should be able to have a snow day. You know, that's one of the great things of growing up and living in Michigan. You hope for a snow day. You wear your pajamas backwards. You do all these other things to try to make sure you have a snow day. And doggone it, they should still be able to have a snow day. What do you guys think?
I completely agree, especially during a pandemic. Let them have some fun.
Yeah.
I
It's
agree.
also the story this morning, Paul, too, is after yesterday's big snow are the freezing temperatures.
Mhm.
We're at 4 below. I think that's pretty much what the official temperature here is in the metro area. But Jane, one of your Paul's pals, telling us it's 10 below in Heartland. Jane,
Yikes.
move.
And again, these are the actual temperatures. This isn't us adding the wind chill factor. Now, my phone, which I can't remember who it's tied into it anymore, but it says 1 degree, and you say minus
4.
4.
Yeah.
Are we going to stick with that as our official?
Oh, well, you know how it.
I have
It
2
varies.
below over here.
What do you think? 2 below?
2 below. Anywhere is cold. It's
Isn't that
cold
where-
as heck.
Isn't that where Elvis was born? Tupelo.
2 below. It's cold as a mug. That's how cold it is.
Shaft. Can you dig it? Your
Right.
mouth.
There you go.
It is all these things come flashing. I think I hear the. Do I hear
Yes,
the
you
traffic
do.
music?
You
Okay.
do.
5:43 at WJR.
This report is sponsored by Compassion International.
It's a new year, but for kids in poverty around the world, things are still desperate. Join Compassion with your one-time $40 gift to provide a COVID relief kit to a family in poverty. Text the word GIVE to 83393. That's GIVE to 83393.
This seems appropriate for Ash Wednesday. It's National Cafe au Lait Day and Kendall Jenner. What are those folks not involved with? Kendall Jenner has launched her new tequila. It's all happening right here. Those celebrities with those boozes, man, oh man, those guys hit the jackpot if their booze hits the jackpot. You notice how many celebrities have a booze
Yes,
now?
have tequila especially.
Wow. At 5:44, we've got our WJR traffic and weather. First, we've got Dana Clark.
Traffic First, sponsored by Primetime Testing Laboratory. For over 20 years, they have been offering complete automotive testing services, guaranteeing on-time delivery and accurate result reporting to OEMs, Tier 1 and Tier 2 suppliers. For your next automotive project, get a free quote at primetimetestinglab.com. That's primetimetestinglab.com. That accident I mentioned is along 275 southbound at Ecorse Road. That wreck is blocking the right shoulder. Most cities still have that snow emergency parking ban in place, so keep that in mind today. Now, WJR Weather First from the Weather Channel, sponsored by the Mechanical Contractors Association of Detroit. When your commercial, industrial, public, or residential project calls for plumbers, pipe fitters, or HVAC service technicians, the Mechanical Contractors Association of Detroit connects you with the very best, highly skilled and trained union contractors. To get started on your next project, visit mcadetroit.org.
In the icebox this morning, temperature is well down below average. Some spots starting below 0. Cloud sunshine during the morning, giving way to a mostly cloudy afternoon with a high near 22. A little bit better tonight. Not as frigid, but still very, very cold. 12 above 0. Single-digit suburbs. Some snow showers could hamper travel tomorrow, especially in the afternoon. 26, maybe an inch or so of snowfall. Friday, mostly cloudy with highs getting into the upper 20s. From the Weather Channel, meteorologist Ray Stage, out News Talk 760 WJR.
All right, and we're around, depending on where you are. I think the worst of it at the moment is -4, although one of our Paul's pals, Carolyn, saying -11 in Holt with 8 inches of snow. So if anyone doubted winter was here, I think those doubts are now gone. Rush Limbaugh is with us, noon to 3, fighting the good fight. We are very concerned about his well-being. Those of us who pray, I hope that you will remember him in your prayers. He needs them right now more than ever. But he stops by first thing in the morning, and I'll tell you, he sounds pretty good. Here's Rush.
8 years ago, Guadalupe Garcia de Rios was arrested when authorities raided her Arizona workplace false identity documents. She later pled guilty to criminal impersonation, which is a felony. For months, she was held at a detention facility and then released. She was ordered to check in with ICE twice a year. This continued all through the Obama years. But during her latest ICE check-in, something different happened. She was detained. Last week, she was put in a van to be deported to her native Mexico. A local pro-illegal immigrant group got wind of the plan, and about 200 people showed up to protest. They banged on drums, they raised flags, they shouted, "No papers, no fear," and let her go, set her free. Protesters surrounded the van carrying Mr. Reyes for several hours. One guy tied himself to a van tire. 7 protesters were arrested. All of this was for naught. The protest group director broke it to the crowd. She has been deported. He called her one of the first victims of President Trump. ICE officials later confirmed Mr. Reyes had been removed to Mexico. But she's not a Trump victim. In fact, she's not a victim at all. Suddenly, and for a change, U.S. law is being followed. Mr. Reyes victimized herself years ago when she broke that law, and she was finally held accountable. Big whoop.
Rush Limbaugh, noon to 3 today, right here on WJR.
Well, he sounds strong. I don't know how long ago those things are taped, and you would know, Ann, better than me.
I was just thinking about that, Deb. I don't know.
What's been repeated, what's not being repeated. I haven't heard that many repeats, it doesn't seem like.
That one I can't tell. I do know yesterday Mark Stein again was asking for prayers. Mark, is that his name, Mark Stein?
Mark Stein. He
was filling in for Rush, asking for
He's
prayers.
been filling in on Fox as well. This has been a good launching pad for him. Because I don't know what Fox is doing. I think they're messing around with their programming or testing different shows in the 7 o'clock hour because they've had different hosts that have been doing the shows. There'll be some testing around here. What with Frank deciding to retire and not knowing exactly what's going to happen with our friend Rush. So we have a couple of colleagues, couple of friends. Well, we know Frank for sure is retiring in March. I thought that was the new one. I'm just getting a change of coffees here. It's nice to be pampered.
I was just going to say, you are really pampered.
We all need a wife.
We need a Kimmy.
Yeah, that's the truth. I remember going to David Letterman's show when it was on during the day, when he was in between big shows at night. The NBC or somebody had him and didn't know what to do with him, so they put him on exactly where David Letterman doesn't belong. This is before his late show, and they put him on during the day, and he was miserable because he's not a during the day kind of show host. But I'll never forget, because I was doing a daily television show in Toledo at the time, and for me it meant being in front of a lockdown camera. They didn't have the money to have a cameraman there. A lockdown camera and me. I wrote it, I talked it, I did the show, I hosted it. When I watched David there at a big network show, they brought him a new cup during every break. They put a fresh cup down. I don't know if it was coffee or booze. I don't know what it was, but they put a cup. People come, they'd fix his hair, they'd put new papers down, they'd read the book in advance and give him the questions, and he did all that. And I thought, I've seen 35, 40 people that were there to help him be the best he could be. And he was miserable.
Oh, really?
He was miserable. And I went over to him and I said, Dave, I do a daytime show too. And you know how many people are in the studio with me helping me do my show? Nobody. You've got it made. I know this isn't what you want to do, and there'll be something else. They're doing this to keep you employed because they want to pay you and keep you from going to another network, obviously. Better days are ahead.
Was he miserable because he didn't care for the daytime hours? Like he was a nighttime guy?
I think poor David was going to be miserable because he never took over for Johnny Carson.
Oh.
Sadly. He never got the Tonight Show. Even though he made a great show on his own and had great success and all of that.
Such a great interviewer, that one.
Well, he is now. He wasn't.
You're hearing the Paul W. Smith Show. News Talk 760 WJR.
But now he does with his new show. It is 5:51 at News Talk 760 WJR. We were talking about all these celebrities with booze. It started, with George Clooney, who with his pal liked a tequila, and they were getting it from some guy, and they thought, this is really good. And then somehow or another, because they had to or because they wanted to, the guy said he couldn't keep doing what he was doing and supply it, so they decided to start their own tequila, and they took that tequila, and they liked it, and they made it even better. and they sold it for like $1 billion. So all the movies, all the stuff that George Clooney had done, his big hit turned out to be that tequila. So now you've got The Rock has a booze. I mean, I can't even list all of the celebrities. I just said Kendall Jenner announcing the launch of her new tequila, and it's already won some big awards. It's called, from what I can see on the bottle, 818 Blanco is what I think it is. And then Kim tells me Vera Wang, the designer.
The designer. How do you make tequila, Deb?
I don't know. You
Well,
squeeze something really hard.
Don't you think we should get busy? I mean, by the sounds of things, we could make a little something here in Detroit.
We ought to make a little something. Vera Wang has a new vodka from Poland. And we just talked the other day when we were talking to the guys about the Punchki vodka. They start with a very good potato vodka from Poland. And that's where the best vodka is from. And I think probably with potatoes. But as you might guess, and this makes some sense, Vera Wang's vodka from Poland, it has a beautiful bottle. I mean, if you're a designer, you make a great looking bottle, and that makes sense. And let's face it, now, you used to look up and see 3 or 4 vodkas to 3 or 4 tequilas. Now you look up and there's shelves of different vodkas, shelves of different tequilas. So having a good looking bottle makes some very good sense to stand out on the shelf. So I said it was a National Cafe au Lait Day. You all know what that means? Don't everyone speak up at once.
Coffee with milk.
Yeah,
that's right.
I mean,
coffee with hot milk added. For some reason or another, I thought first it had chocolate.
I did too. That's why I was hesitating, because I thought, well, maybe it does have a little chocolate in it, but it does not.
It apparently doesn't have any chocolate. It's all about the hot milk.
Yep.
Ooh.
I remember when I went to New York for the first time and went into one of the billions and billions of little corner coffee shops. It reminds me of Elf, the one that had the sign in the window, world's best coffee. And Elf went in and said, "Congratulations, everyone, you did it." And, he didn't quite understand that anybody could put that in the window, but the world's best coffee. Anyway, I went into this coffee shop and I said, "Can I have a cup of coffee, please?" And they had those cups that look the same. They have like Greek a design on the cups. Every place had those cups. I wish I had that business. And he said, "How do you want it?" I said, just a regular coffee, meaning I didn't want a decaf. Well, regular coffee in New York means cream and sugar.
Oh.
Which I learned the hard way and quickly.
So have you heard about the vegan Kit Kat? And would you try it?
I would try it. I meant to tell the vegan in the family, but I haven't. But yes, I don't know anything about it other than they were doing a vegan Kit Kat. And I don't know Kim, did you tell me about the vegan Kit Kat?
Yeah, Nestle is launching. They're putting out a big advertising campaign about the vegan Kit Kat.
Paul, do you recall the wise words that were spoken yesterday by your guest from the new market?
Right.
Yeah.
I know where this is
going. What? We should have that. I know you used it in the news, and I really appreciate that because it was
so much.
It was a classic. I was afraid to even ask the question. Would you do vegan and gluten-free punchki? Why? Why would you want that? She was absolutely honest and right to the point.
I think that's where Marie is going with the.
I'm sure that she is. I'm sure that she is. But how old do you think the world's second oldest person is, having just celebrated their birthday?
102.
The world's second oldest.
I'm going to say 115.
I'm going to say 113.
Wow.
I might be
the closest is Marie, because the world's second oldest person turned 117.
Woo! Now that's a why.
And said red wine is one of her longevity secrets.
You got it.
God bless her. You can't go wrong with red wine. She happened to celebrate with champagne, cheese, and cake. All the things that they would probably tell you not to have. And she says, I'm 117.
Exactly. Go for it.
It is. Although the champagne, there have been studies that have talked about the champagne staving off dementia. That will give you a reason to pop a couple of corks, if you remember to.
But
it's 5:57 at WJR.
This report is sponsored by Compassion International.
It's a new year, but for kids in poverty around the world, things are still desperate. Join Compassion with your one-time $40 gift to provide a COVID relief kit to a family in poverty. Text the word GIVE to 83393. That's GIVE to 83393.
Let's check it right here, right now, at as we approach 5:58 on this very cold Wednesday, Ash Wednesday, Hump Day. Our WJR Traffic and Weather First, and Dana Clark.
Traffic First, sponsored by the Carpenters Labor Management Partnership Team. Hire the Carpenter LMPT contractors for your next construction project. Their workforce is the best in Michigan, professional, safety conscious, and craft trained for every project. Hire the Carpenters LMP contractors today. Call 877-477-LMPT. That's 877-477-LMPT. Few accidents working out there in Lincoln Park, 75 northbound at Southfield Road. Wreck blocks the right shoulder. Southbound 75 at Lapeer. Accident blocking your left two lanes. 94 westbound at 696. Left two lanes blocked there due to a crash. And 275 southbound at Ecorse Road. Wreck is blocking that right shoulder. Now, WJR Weather First from the Weather Channel, sponsored by the National Electrical Contractors Association, NECA. Put the expertise and skill of NECA signatory contractors to work on your commercial, public, industrial, or residential construction project. NECA signatory contractors like LaBelle Electric are powering Michigan's future, project after project, on time and on budget. Learn more at smcneca.org. 2 below right now. It's going to remain in the deep freeze today. Sun first. Clouds later this afternoon, a high of 20. Tonight's cloudy skies, your low 12. On Thursday, some clouds, see some snow showers coming back, and a high of 26. I'm Dana Clark, WJR News with Marie Osborne in 1 minute.
I just found out that this first coffee, the reason I have two is that we were experimenting. And what did this one have? What coffee? Chocolate macchiato.
Macchiato, yeah.
He was in all those movies.
How was it?
It hit me wrong because I wasn't expecting it. You know how you expect your first slug of coffee to taste like coffee, but I'm drinking it and it's fine. I mean, it's not. I don't know if I would choose it. Kim says there's a whole pot of it, so I guess I will be choosing it. Although she made me a second cup because that's just the way she is.
Wow, that's nice.
All made with love. You started to say something, Annie Benani?
Yes. Have you seen those pictures online of people that are taking their jeans? It looks like mostly jeans, and sticking them, wetting them down, and then sticking them in the
the snow and frozen. Yeah, I saw one of those from, I thought, just a regular person posting a picture of their jeans. I can't remember who it was. It might have been on Instagram.
Blaine.
Oh, it was Blaine. It was Blaine from downstairs.
That's when I first saw it.
From the morning show on our FM station. Yeah, it was Blaine. His jeans were just standing out there in the snow. And I went, that's odd. That's funny. So now people are all doing that?
Yes, no, I've seen it. I saw a picture last night where they were all over somebody's yard.
Oh gosh,
people are bored.
Very bored.
Yeah, people are really bored. Yeah. We were speaking of booze a moment ago. Bailey's. I think they did this before, but now they're making a big deal out of a Bailey's Deliciously Light, a low sugar, lower calorie version of the popular cream liqueur. 40% fewer calories, 40% less sugar. Wow. They're available at liquor stores where you typically buy your Baileys at about $24.99. I think Bailey's is therapeutic, very soothing. I never have it, But when I see it on the shelf at a liquor store, I go, yeah, Bailey's. That's so comforting. I don't know why I don't pick it up, but I just don't. I think it's because
bottles. It has a cool bottle.
Does it?
Beautiful looking bottle.
I've not seen it. But I don't know why. I guess because regular Bailey's is a little maybe too rich. If something can be too rich, I guess it can be. Although Tom Romer, remember Tom Romer, our singer, my teacher in high school, he sings at our St. Patrick's Day party. Are we doing that again this year virtually?
Virtually, yes.
Yeah, good. Tommy his mom would always say, years ago, you probably can't say this anymore, but she would say, you can never be too rich or too thin. So you probably would get in trouble for saying that now. The thin thing and the body shaming and whatever else you have to worry about if you say anything. By the way, the 117-year-old woman, the person who writes this story, Kristen Salaki, says, why does it seem like every wellness influencer on earth wants me to eat nothing but kale and drink nothing but water, when it seems like everyone who lives a long and happy life does so while sipping on booze and eating sausages and French fries?
Exactly.
Because that 117-year-old woman does all of that. She's a nun, Sister Andre, a nun in a nursing home in Toulon, France. And she asked why everyone kept talking about this disease, this virus, because it didn't apparently touch her. In her nursing home, 81 people were sickened by it, and 11 died. But somehow or another, she was asymptomatic. She was infected. Oh, here's an interesting thought. She was infected, but asymptomatic at 116 because she just turned 117. So there's a little key there genetically about how we all respond to this.
There's a story out today, Paul, that says that there's a certain genetic mutation that some people have that helps them fight the virus to the point where, just like this nun, they may have the virus, but they show no symptoms or very little symptoms. And they've just discovered the genetic mutation.
Isn't that something? I do believe that future medicine will use our genetics a lot more to finding the cure to certain problems and illnesses. I think that the key will be figuring out ways to get our bodies to heal themselves. Correct. Because as it turns out, as you know, we all know, every time they come up with a new disease or a new drug, and I'm not always sure which happens first. Ooh, we have a new drug. What disease can we come up with? I know, just use letters. If you have OMC, you need this drug. So, but if you noticed, they tell you that for the first 10 seconds, and as we've discussed a million times, the next 50 seconds are all the bad things that could happen to you in your effort to get rid of that one zit in the middle of your forehead. And death is always part of
right.
Sometimes causes death. But my forehead, I don't have a pimple. The drugs, God bless science, God bless some of the pharmaceutical industry, but having our body cure itself is going to be the key in our future, and maybe while we're still alive. Kim has found the oldest person, a woman in Japan, who is 118 years old. So that's the oldest, just a year older than our nun in France.
I wonder how you feel at 118.
Old.
I wonder, old.
Good job there, Dana. Good job, dude.
Dana does not mince words. She gets right to the point. I wonder how is 117 years. I wonder how you feel at 117. Old.
Old.
I was going to say, not much.
So who's the oldest living man? So far we have
67.
Right.
Men do not do so well on this scale. But the governor is not going to put together a task force to study why men die 60 years before women.
We're
Don't
just
get me started.
Peace. We're just
The Paul W. Smith Show. News Talk 760 WJR.
Good Wednesday morning to you. It's the 17th of February, the 48th day of 2021. There are 317 days left in the year. Make each and every day count. Each day is a gift. Now, Wednesdays are always special around here. We add to this that it is, for those who celebrate it, Ash Wednesday. And we talked yesterday about instead of putting the cross on the forehead, they're sprinkling the ashes in your hair. Go figure. So that may be happening, and some of the drive-through places are going to do better than others. But it's not just Ash Wednesday. In fact, every Wednesday, Dana, is extra special, isn't it?
It's hump day. Woo-hoo!
Yes, indeed. It is hump day, and that came around from people saying, hey, we're over the hump and through the week. And so we are. And so it goes on this Wednesday, Ash Wednesday, hump day. Marie just gave the news. We couldn't hear it. Everything okay? Did the world come to an end while we were talking?
We're cold, but other than that, I think we'll survive another day.
You're still going with -4, the actual temperature. As a general, it just sounds better than saying it's 1 or 2 or 0 or -4 is about as cold as it gets for right now.
Right.
Dana,
National Weather Service.
Right, the National Weather Service. And Dana Clark said that earlier, just one accident, a lot better than yesterday. Right, Dana?
Yes, much better than yesterday. Looking at 4 right now, but it's going to be cold out there. So keep that in mind. You know, those bridges, ramps, overpasses could be still slippery. So reduce your speeds, even though most areas, most of the main roads are clear.
Okay, so just 4 accidents today, which is great. I mean, it's never great to have an accident. Right. You know what I'm saying? And we're on camera till 6:15-ish, and of course on the radio where we belong and where we are always. And maybe one day we'll always be on camera while on the radio. They're working on all the details on that. Meanwhile, Brian Morton is in the Golden Tower of the Fisher Building, the only one of us who's actually there and taking care of business. Kim is alongside, plying me with coffee, and I do appreciate that. And lots of good ideas of different things that we're talking about. Ann is our executive producer, oversees every aspect of the program, and we do appreciate that as our executive producer. Good morning, Annie.
Good morning, Deb. Happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday to you. Anybody have anything they were thinking of, dying to bring up or mention to make sure we talk about it?
Harry and Meghan are expecting another baby.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, so that's great news for them.
Yeah, it is great news. I some people love them. Some people think what they did to the monarchy was bad. Some people want to hate on Meghan. Isn't it sad that they're, and that's because I'm afraid it's because of the internet and social media.
Yeah.
Because there isn't a platform. And what we have found with social media and all that is that behind that platform and that anonymity, people get mean and angry.
Very nasty. I have a question for the group, a birth question. Do they live in California?
Oh, do we have to do the birds and the bees thing for Ann?
Do
you have children. I'm sorry. Yes. What was the question? A birth question.
You're silly. Do they live in California?
They do.
Yes. So does that mean that the baby will be American?
Born in America.
Well, it will be
and
American.
If you're born in America,
a U.S. citizen. That's a good question.
Yeah, I think that the baby will have probably dual citizenship. I'm guessing
at birth, but how does that happen at birth?
You're a royal and you're really wealthy.
Yeah, you have a lot of potatoes, Marie.
How does anything happen?
That would actually be the only real answer to that question. Would be that somehow that his father would be able to, bestow that upon him, his British citizenship.
I honestly don't know.
He will be a U.S.
But he's got to be British somewhere in there because they say he's 8th in line for the throne. No American is ever going to be in line for the throne.
Right.
Just a thought, something
Just-
different, interesting.
Yeah, I don't know how that all works. I do know that they live in a really nice house in California. I guess it was so they didn't miss the palaces that they used to live in, because the house in California is pretty special. Picture I saw of it the other day upon the announcement. Nice picture. By the way, a black and white picture with this tree, which was said to be a significant, like, tree of life. Did you know the one I'm talking about? She's kind of laying down, and you see the little baby bump, and it's black and white. And this big deal photographer took the picture with his iPad.
Nice.
I'll tell you, those iPad pictures are pretty good. I just can't. First of all, I haven't had an iPad in years. I have one in the basement somewhere, but I'm sure the new ones, maybe they're even lighter. But I still, carrying around an iPad to take pictures is not something I'm going to do. I'm thrilled to be able to carry around a cell phone and take pictures, but I still lament. I have a very good camera that I never use, and I lament the loss of using very good cameras. Anybody know why?
No.
I don't know why.
You look.
First of all, they're still better than the iPhone. We have settled for pictures with iPhone. But the other thing is, maybe you guys are better than I am at this. I never download and print these pictures.
Yeah, exactly.
I never have a scrapbook like I see when I go visit my mother, for example, or anyone of a certain age that says, "Here, look," and you page through and you relive the memories and you learn about family that you didn't know or things that you didn't remember. And we're losing that as part of our very culture.
Yeah,
I don't know.
true.
It's a little disappointing to me. Apparently not so disappointing that I won't carry on and go to the traffic and weather in just a moment. It is. It's not going to stop me from doing my job, I tell you. It is almost 6:14 at WJR.
This report is sponsored by Compassion International.
It's a new year, but for kids in poverty around the world, things are still desperate. Join Compassion with your one-time $40 gift to provide a COVID relief kit to a family in poverty. Text the word GIVE to 83393. That's GIVE to 83393.
Let's take care of a little of this business. Just ahead of checking with the Flat Rock School Superintendent, President of the Michigan Association of Superintendents and Administrators Board, Andrew Brody, some interesting school-related questions regarding getting back to class, teachers and vaccinations, and any more virtual snow days, or is that a thing of the past? So we have a lot of things to talk about with Andrew Brody coming up after we check our WJR traffic and weather first, and Dana Clark.
Traffic first sponsored by Window World. Call Window World 1-800-NEXT-WINDOW for your window, door, or siding project. Take advantage of 0% financing for 60 months. Window World is America's largest exterior replacement remodeler. Call 1-800-NEXT-WINDOW or visit windowworlddetroit.com for a free in-home or virtual quote. 275 Southbound at Ecorse Road. Wreck blocks at right shoulder. Actually, that incident just cleared. 94 westbound at 696. Wreck is blocking your left two lanes, slow from 12 Mile. 75 northbound at Southfield Road, accident on the right shoulder. And 75 southbound at Lapeer, accident blocking your left two lanes, slow from Jocelyn Road. Now, WJR Weather First from the Weather Channel, sponsored by Gordon Chevrolet. Gordon Chevrolet, where buying a car is fun, fast, and friendly. No advertised, fake, lowball prices, just great service, great pricing. Come home to Gordon Chevrolet on Ford Road, just west of Merriman in Garden City. GordonChevrolet.com. Gordon Chevrolet, find new roads. Going to remain nice and crisp out there today. Sun to start, clouds to finish, cold all day, a high of 20. Tonight, cloudy skies, your low 12. Looking at cloudy skies, 2 below. I'm Dana Clark. Next, we'll have the weather.
Keep ourselves in the cold here this morning. Bitter cold temperatures. Luckily, the winds are fairly calm. Clouds, sunshine early, more clouds later, high 22. A little bit milder or not as frigid tonight, but still well below normal, 12 degrees, suburbs single digits. Some snow showers tomorrow, maybe an inch or so, 26. Friday, mostly cloudy with highs in the upper 20s. From the Weather Channel meteorologist Ray Stidgick on News Talk 760 WJR.